at Assembly District 78, fall is nearly here, and I want to give you an update on some of the latest news from my office for September. Several of my bills passed the full legislature by our August 31st deadline and are now on the governor's desk awaiting his signature. I'll go over a few of them in a second, but the best way to offer your support for these bills is to visit gov.ca.gov and click on the contact button at the top right of the website. After that, you'll be directed to another page where you can leave a comment and scroll down until you find the topic box and choose an active bill, and then scroll down again until you find the bill that you want to support, where you can highlight the leave a comment button and then click next. Finally, you'll be taken to a new page that'll allow you to indicate whether you are for or against a bill, and you'll also be able to leave a message for the governor regarding the legislation that you selected. This is one of the best ways to tell the governor your stance on specific bills that can help impact his decision to sign or veto legislation. Most recently, I held a press conference to urge the governor to sign both AB 3024, the Stop Hate Littering Act, and AB 1858, the Safe and Prepared Schools Act. Hate groups have increasingly adopted the tactic of hate littering, or distributing flyers, posters, or symbols with hateful messaging targeting the Jewish, LGBTQ, or other community members. The Stop Hate Littering Act will ensure that victims are provided with adequate protections while creating new legal tools for law enforcement to hold offenders accountable. And as active shooter drills have sadly become a new normal in schools across the country, some schools in California have gone to the extreme of simulating mock shootings with the use of fake gunmen, fake weapons, or students playing victims. I was shocked to learn that there's currently no guidance on how to implement these drills from the California Department of Education. And that's why I introduced the Safe and Prepared Schools Act to ensure that there are guidelines for schools to follow on how to responsibly conduct active shooter drills. With the increased usage of social media platforms, the act of doxing, or publishing someone's private data for the purpose of targeted harassment, has become a popular tactic affecting countless victims. Doxing someone can include highly personal information like phone numbers, home addresses, passwords, medical records, text messages, or other sensitive materials without their permission to exact revenge, embarrass, extort, or exploit victims. Doxing is already a crime in the criminal code, but protections and recourse for victims is absent. AB 1979, the Doxing Victims Recourse Act, will allow the victims of doxing the ability to pursue civil action and receive restitution for the harms that they endured. In addition, as chair of the Housing and Community Development Committee, I introduced several bills this year to help address the affordable housing crisis. I'm proud to announce that 5 housing bills have made it to the governor's desk and are awaiting his signature. AB 2005 enables the California State University campuses like SDSU to utilize the low-income housing tax credit to develop affordable housing for CSU faculty, staff, and students on CSU-owned land. AB 2694 supports the development of residential care facilities for the elderly, like the one I just visited in Claremont about to open, to ensure that we provide adequate affordable housing opportunities for our aging population. AB 3093 requires local governments to account for the housing needs of people experiencing homelessness in their housing element, and for the California Department of Housing and Community Development to include vulnerable residents into the Regional Housing Needs Allocation, or RHNA. AB 2353 ensures that nonprofit affordable rental housing developers can access the existing welfare property tax exemption without floating unnecessary tax payments while their application is under review, which would reduce the cost of constructing affordable housing. And finally, AB 2597 eases the workload crunches in the housing element adoption timeline for California's largest metropolitan planning organization, the Southern California Association of Governments, and improves coordination between the Housing and Community Development Department and local partners. I appreciate any support that you can give to these bills by leaving a comment on the governor's website. You might have read in the news, the Assembly took an unusual step in opening a special session for the fall to address gas prices, costs that are burdening families across the state. As we've been reviewing the reasons for gas supply and pricing, Last-minute legislation was presented at the end of our regular session that required more time for committees to vet and make sure that we were doing helpful policy and not something that would have unintended consequences for consumers. As such, I will be monitoring this committee work and return for a special session on October 1st to vote on a proposal intended to ensure sufficient supply that would, in theory, modulate gas price spikes. Keeping costs low for constituents is of top of my mind, and I invite you to contact my office if you have any input or questions on this topic. Navigating the home insurance market is difficult. Too many Californians have seen policy rates skyrocket, if not being dropped altogether. On Wednesday, October 2nd, I'll be hosting an informative webinar session with the California Department of Insurance covering state programs that may be helpful for and support individuals seeking assistance. You can learn from experts about what is being done to safeguard the overall health of the home insurance market. Whether you're a current homeowner or considering buying, insurance can be one of the most important ongoing purchases that you make to protect yourself and your family from financial hardship. Representatives with the Department of Insurance will also be available to help provide information and answer questions. You can register at the URL below or on my website to attend. Supporting California families in the pursuit to go green and seek independence through green energy is a priority. Earlier this month, I held an informational webinar with key partners to understand the latest updates in economics, rebates, and options for purchasing solar systems and electric vehicles in California. I then joined organizations on September 14th to celebrate EV Day, where 500 San Diegans were able to test drive new models and see if there was a good fit for themselves and their families with no obligations. Purchasing solar systems and going electric is more affordable than ever, and new California incentives are helping middle and lower income families pencil out these opportunities. If you missed the information, you can review it anytime through an archived copy on my website. Since September 1st, I've been on our fall legislative recess and will be home in the district until the new year. I've already been out to planning groups, community events, and meeting with constituents to discuss the past legislative year, and will continue to crisscross our district in the upcoming months to gain insight into the current needs, which will inform my upcoming legislative session when I return to our capital. I hope to see you at any of these upcoming community events close to you. As always, I want to thank you for your support. I'm grateful to be your representative and work on these issues and so much more. One of the best ways to stay informed is to follow my social media accounts on Facebook, X, Threads, and Instagram, where you can know in real time what developments are happening or what I'm working on every day. And if you need any assistance at all, please know that my district office staff is available and ready to serve or answer any questions that you may have. You should feel free to reach out to the contact information at the end of this video, and a staff member will connect with you as soon as possible. I wish you, your family, and your neighbors all the best this fall.